Hello and welcome to a multiplayer update for Legacy of the Void. In this video, we will be discussing additions and changes coming to the Zerg race in the exciting conclusion of the StarCraft 2 trilogy. First up, let me introduce you to the Ravager. This unit is a morph off of the Roach, a ranged unit that comes with a new ability, Corrosive Bile, that deals damage to a target area. Corrosive Bile marks a target location, and after a brief delay, units and structures in that area are hit with high damage. This ability also has a powerful perk against Protoss. It can destroy force fields. In a PvZ matchup that includes Sentry versus Ravager, we anticipate a new contest of micro that presents opportunities to both gain and lose advantage. When paired with fungal growth, Ravagers can reliably damage air units. As expected, Corrosive Bile is also particularly good against units with little to no mobility. If you want to avoid the damage from Corrosive Bile, simply make sure you dodge reactively whenever possible. For those of you that have been around StarCraft since Brood War, this unit hardly needs an introduction, the Lurker. As you'd expect, Lurkers in StarCraft 2 are capable of dealing massive splash damage. They also serve as a ranged siege option capable of outdistancing most units and all base defense structures. For Terran, countering the Lurker can be accomplished with the recently added Cyclone. To learn more about the Cyclone, be sure to check out our Terran update video. Of course, familiar micro moves from Brood War can also be used to take on the Lurker. Needless to say, we're looking forward to seeing these guys back in action. We're also making some changes to the current roster of Zerg units, starting with the Corruptor. We're adding a new ability to the Corruptor called Caustic Spray that deals damage to ground units and structures. This damage ramps up over time, making it a strong choice against buildings. Although not ideal against a mobile ground army, damage is damage, and in a tight matchup, every bit you can deal works to your favor. Next up, let's talk about the Infestor. We're giving the Infestor a new ability called Aggressive Mutation that grants a flat damage buff to friendly units. That means your basic Zergling swarm is even more powerful against enemies that would have taken them out previously. In Legacy of the Void, the swarm host is going to be taking a bit more of an aggressive role when it comes to harassment. We have made the swarm host's locusts stronger while lowering the frequency with which they can spawn. The swarm host will also be able to spawn locusts while on the move, and upgrade them to fly in the late game. Keep in mind that massing swarm host will not be a viable strategy in Legacy, as the downtime between locust spawns has been increased to a point that your swarm host army will be easily overrun. Of course, you can harass enemy bases with this new change as well. And finally, I want to talk to you about the changes coming to the NYDUS worm. NYDUS worms can no longer be damaged while emerging. This makes the NYDUS worm a more reliable option for drop harassment. In late game situations where both sides have a lot of resources, the Zerg player can now force engagements at strategic locations by employing an army of NYDUS worms. That concludes the updates currently on the table for Zerg in Legacy of the Void. Keep in mind that everything is subject to change as we move into public testing. That being said, we are excited for the new possibilities available to Zerg players in Legacy of the Void, and look forward to hearing your thoughts and feedback as well. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to check out the changes coming to both Terran and Protoss armies. I'm Cloakin with Blizzard Entertainment, and we'll talk to you soon.